What's going on, everybody? My name is Cameron. I am 19 years old. This is going to be my first video on this channel. I have another channel where I post mainly just car stuff. But I figured I would make this channel just as a new start, a little bit different. This is going to be about my experience in the stock market, trading, a little bit of crypto. So let's just get right into it, where I started off. Pretty much 2021 is when I officially had an account. This was an account that was a joint account started by my parents, so I could actually do live trades on it. That means, buying stocks. I did buy a couple stocks. One of them I know is Uber, which is the only one that's still around to this day. The other ones have closed. And Uber hasn't done much anyway. I just thought it was kind of interesting to look back on it and see where that went. But of course, I closed those positions a long time ago, and I have a new account since then, since I'm actually able to open an account, of course, due to my age. As far as how I got into the stock market, my introduction into it, I did do demo kind of simulated trading. I think it was in some point in middle school in a class. Never really thought about it that much or took it too seriously, just like everyone else probably. I got hurt in football my summer going into my junior year, so that was 2021. And I had a lot of time. And one thing led to another. I just ended up somehow getting interest into the market. I didn't know too much, just bought a couple stocks that I thought were good at the time, or were supposed to be good buys, or I just knew the company. There wasn't much invested into it, of course, maybe like $50 or $100, just a little bit. But eventually I started learning a little bit more. Like I said, I had a lot of time. So I sort of started learning just how the stock market worked and a little bit about patterns. Of course, I wasn't really applying those patterns. When I kind of learned about options, I just thought they were very complex and risky, which in a sense they are, but I just didn't want to mess with them at the time. And going forward from there, also got into crypto, Coinbase more specifically. My account was on TD Ameritrade, which is now Schwab. Thinkorswim is the actual trading platform. Crypto, when I got into it, was still going up a little bit, so I did make some money. I think I ended up making $750 over the whole time of trading crypto. Of course, it's to me very speculative, and there's not a lot of structure within crypto. I've just never really been able to grasp having so many coins or coins being created. The exact market just wasn't for me. Some people do great in crypto. Personally, just not for me. Bitcoin really started to decline, of course, with all the other cryptos in around November of 2021. So not much that I was doing then. I did get into KuCoin, which I think is also closing now. But I could trade options on crypto. So that was early 2022 is when I first started trading options. Felt like I knew enough about them, at least to try trading them. Of course, I would highly recommend using paper trading demo account. Especially on Thinkorswim, it's very easy to use. I still use it to this day because it just works for me, the way it's set up. But I have done a lot of paper trading. Of course, it's just never going to be the same as using real money, but still a great tool to use. and try different strategies. And maybe if you're looking at trading different stocks or ETFs or whatnot, then it's a good option. So that was kind of throughout junior year, on and off trading. I did have some stocks I was holding. Kind of started to learn about dividends, which are great, and just holding for a little bit longer term. Of course, I didn't really end up going long term with them. It was more of like a short term, mid-term, I guess, holding. I remember I sold off a lot of them when I went to buy my first car. I was working at Walmart and sold all the stocks, which I wouldn't recommend doing for something like that, especially if you're going to buy a stock and want to hold it long term, then you should be holding it long term. But that was in the past. Again, I really didn't have much money to work with. In high school, I have school going on, working too, so not much to work with. I was really just kind of on and off. I wasn't consistent with it. I feel like right now, especially, trading seems to be kind of a trend for people to get into, just because of the appeal of, make money quick or easy, or there's a lot of money to make, whatever. I was one of those people at one point that kind of bought into that, but I kind of had a interest further than that, considering that I am someone who's interested in business and finance and whatnot. But still, you see all these people selling courses and things like that. You hear this and that about trading. Personally, I've never bought a course. I don't think I ever will. I just think that the information is out there. You just have to go and find it and learn it and understand it. I watched a lot of Jay Dunn. Not that I'm promoting or anything. That's just ended up who I would watch a lot and learn from. I don't like to try to take people's strategies, complete strategies directly. I like to learn why they're doing what they're doing, what works for them, certain ideas, like let's just say volume, for example. How does volume play into your trading? Not just taking someone's complete strategy, and because it's their strategy, it works for them. It might not work for you, if it does even work for them. You want to kind of have a variety, though. If you're learning, I think it's good to listen to different people about different ideas. Definitely listen to people's experiences, but there's a difference between listening and applying it to your own trading and your own strategies. But senior year, this was senior 2022 through 2023. I was really picking up on the options. I remember I would be at school in the mornings and I'd be looking at the market, pre-market. My teachers would always have something to say, like, oh, how's the market doing, or whatnot. I was looking at news a lot more, which I don't do that anymore either. Seeing how the market would react. Often I was trading right at market open, which is very volatile. I don't use that strategy anymore, but that's what I was doing at the time. I started to get a little bit more consistent, kind of every day, trying to learn a little bit more. I did have some success, definitely. My account was the largest it had been since I started getting to the markets. So that was probably, I don't know, a $1,500 account, maybe somewhere around there. I don't remember the exact amount. I do remember that the day I made the most money I've ever made was $500, which for me, being a senior in high school, making that in, I don't know, an hour was a lot of money, definitely. And just like any other trader, I did blow a lot of that. I lost a lot of that. I think my account was at 2,000 and then it went back to, I want to say 1,000 or something like that. So I took a pretty big hit. Everyone knows this, that is a trader. Emotions and psychology and discipline really do play a big part in trading overall. I think the reason I lost that amount of money was a motion thing. Also, it happened to be a poor decision. There's a career fair going on at my school, and for whatever reason, I decided, oh, I'm just gonna take this trade and hold it during that, which was an awful idea looking back on it. But you will make mistakes. You're gonna continue to make some mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes unless you're not learning from them. You should be taking something away from it, not just making a mistake and being like, oh well. Blown accounts, that is definitely just a part of the game, but you do need to learn. I have learned so much. At this point, it's been, I don't know, about 4 years, and I still feel like I'm learning every day. There's always something to learn, but it's definitely not just a quick couple months and then you're an expert. Nowhere near an expert right now. This is not financial advice. By no means am I making 6-7 figures a year off trading. I'm just not there yet. Hopefully I'm working towards that. Day by day, it really does add up. It just matters about how much you put into it. A big thing that trading has showed me is personal development, discipline, getting to know yourself a little bit better, the way you think. I found that I'm very, very good at honing my emotions, or really just not letting there be any emotions at all. I'm not really an emotional person to begin with, so it kind of works with trading. If you're emotional, oftentimes, then you're gonna end up revenge trading, or just not thinking about things when you have emotions going through your head. Then oftentimes you're not thinking as logically, but it does happen to everyone, no matter what. Another thing I've kind of learned, that money is really just feels like a number with a dollar sign in front of it. Trading will change your perspective on money a lot, in my opinion, and it has for me. When I first got into it, seeing a certain amount of money, like I had mentioned, when I've made or lost a lot of money, that can bring out the emotions. At this point in time, I really just don't feel that way as much. But yeah, throughout senior year, was trading, took a pretty decent hit, of course, with school and everything, on and off still. Ultimately, just didn't push through it like I should have at the time. Kind of stopped trading for a while. I was still not 18 at the time, so still was part of a joint account. My parents, didn't have the best view on it, and that's another thing I think traders run into. If people ask them or whatnot about trading, oftentimes they're just not going to understand. Is trading gambling is a great question. Depends what you define as gambling. At the end of the day, you are risking money, and any money that you have in an account, you should be willing to lose that money. But there's a possibility that you can make, double, triple, whatever that. You could also lose all of it. You just have to look at it both ways. It's just going to be hard. A lot of people are not going to understand trading, why you're trading, what you're really doing, because it takes years to really understand it. You still might not 100% understand it. That's just a reality that I found I've had to face, but you kind of have to push through it with the discipline, and you have to believe in yourself. That's the most important part. You're the one who's doing the trading at the end of the day, not anyone else. So finding people to talk to, maybe friends or a community, can be good. I'm not really involved in any specific groups or anything like that, but I've had people here and there, not quite doing the same thing as me though. If you really take it serious, you're just going to be thinking on a different level. You might look at things in life differently because of trading, but that's just my experience. I'm sure there's other people out there who have gone through sort of a similar thing. Going back to kind of my story throughout college, and I'm still in college, but my first year of college, I got back into a little bit. I tried out Robinhood, still doing options, kind of at that morning time frame. I had a pretty small account, of course, college, not a bunch of money to work with. It was maybe like $200 account. Again, didn't really go anywhere with it. I think Robinhood is decent, but still wasn't a fan. I just think at the moment, Schwab, Thinkorswim works best for me. Actually, I do trade on the web, Thinkorswim web, and not the desktop app, which I know a lot of people are the opposite, which I could definitely understand why. I mean, the desktop app is going to give you a lot more to work with, more in depth, more made for day trading and more serious traders. But I've just found the web has worked for me, just the way it's structured. I really like how you can see profit and loss compared to price. You can kind of move there's kind of like a slider that's there. So that's kind of nice to work with, and just the structure of it is very, very easy to understand, in my opinion. Definitely takes a little bit of getting used to it, just like anything else, but that's just what I choose to use. Like I said, though, college, again, on and off, just really never gave the commitment to it. I always felt kind of a natural like draw to trading, but it can be hard seeing those losses and continuously not seeing success in just about anything in life can just make it hard to continue to keep going. And that's kind of what I found. I feel like my mindset overall in life, not just trading, has definitely improved as far as effort and discipline and working hard and things like that. It definitely is comes down to psychology, definitely a lot. Aside from that, though, that kind of gets me to where I am now, getting more structure, kind of having a process and strategy. Everyone's going to have a different process and strategy in what they do. Right now, I trade 9:45 to 11, kind of that time slot, which is a very, very common time slot to trade in. Like I said, 9:30 market open is when you'll find the most volatility. So I like to wait until that's over and trade until about the 11 o'clock mark. I am trading SPY and QQQ options, which are, of course, the S&P 500 index and the NASDAQ top 100 index. Also very common strategy to trade. I do have a process in place as far as what I do, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea. This is what I'm doing kind of on a daily, nightly basis. So pretty much what I'm doing, kind of evening and nighttime after market closes. I don't mind doing it a little bit later. I'm going through chart analysis, previous trends, volume, finding my support and resistance for the next day. I look at daily, weekly, monthly, typically looking at the 5-minute, 15-minute, and 1 hour time frames. I look at the previous close and open. And then in the morning, I will look at the pre-market high and low. Again, 9:45 through 11 is what I found to work best for me as far as time slot for trading. Psychological levels, which are kind of like flat price levels. For example, like 496 and 496.50 cents. When I am trading, looking at a couple different things. RSI I found has worked pretty well for me, which is the relative strength index. Looking at overbought or oversold. volume, looking at what the volume is telling you compared to the candlesticks, looking at the candlesticks period, price levels, all things I take into account. I like to look at just overall what the market's doing, especially the top stocks. Oftentimes, they're either all green or all red. Sometimes you'll have a couple that for whatever reason are opposite of the market, but they tend to kind of move the same. That's again just what I do, not any advice, but that's just what I found works for me. Right now I'm kind of at a level of making 10, 15, sometimes a little bit lower or higher percent on my money, which to me is good. I am not trading with a large account by any means. I'm trading with a cash account. One thing I had to learn the hard way was the PDT rule. That means you cannot take 3 or over 3 trades in the span of 5 days or in a week, trading week, below 25,000 in your account. Think or swim, you can trade on margin. If you do request it, you'll need to have at least, I think it's like $2,000, but that's besides the point. I'm not trading on margin. I'm not trading as far as making multiple trades a day. I'm doing a cash account, so you cannot trade with unsettled funds. So if I take a trade and risk $500 and I have, let's just say, $300 left in my account, I can only trade with that $300 after I make the first trade, which is kind of leads me to having to be more precise with my trades, picking 1, maybe 2 trades a day during that time. And it is really a constant battle of I don't want to be holding for too long. I don't want to sell too early. What's a good stop loss? Where am I trying to go with this trade ultimately? Trying to understand everything better. But every day just trying to improve, I think, is very important. Again, I haven't done any courses, bought any courses. Everyone is trying to sell a course, it seems like. I just really have not bought into any of that personally. There's a lot of great education that's out there, YouTube, of course, especially. Even brokers like Schwab have education just so you can understand, okay, what is an option? What is a call? What is a put? Different spreads, just to know it. You may never use it, but it's great to know stuff like that. And that's pretty much my story to where I am today. I've learned a lot. My kind of goal for this video and this channel is to kind of just document my journey, and for anyone who's thinking about getting into trading, or maybe you're already in trading, maybe no more than me, just to try to connect, help people think a little bit, help myself think a little bit. I think that's just ultimately my goal with this. Hopefully some more videos to come in the future. That's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys watching. More stuff to come on the way. Good luck with your trading. Stay committed, stay focused, have a schedule, have discipline. One thing I will say is I have tried trading while working, and it can be difficult, definitely, depending on the type of job. That's what it allows you to do time-wise and whatnot. I'm starting to look into futures and Forex a little bit, but just kind of practicing and seeing what's out there. Just demo accounts for those, of course, but I will be sticking to SPY and QQQ for the foreseeable future. If it's not broke, don't fix it. It just works out best for me. I've been doing that for a couple of years now, but I'm now kind of finding more success the more structure that I'm creating for myself. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will see you next